Going to get this set up here. Give me half a second while it's preparing to live stream the webinar. So, all right, I'm currently away for a few days on a bit of a holiday. We're down in North Carolina right now in the Wilmington area, believe it or not. Beautiful place down here. I'm just going to get this set up here. Give me half a.
Okay, there we go.
And so I'm on a remote computer, not my familiar somewhat computer. I'm a little bit familiar, but a little trouble with the camera this evening. I can't seem to get the camera working on this PowerPoint and Zoom. So I don't know what's going on, but so you're not going to probably see me here tonight. And if you are, well, then we finally got it working. I've been working on this for quite some time. The funny thing is, I had it working earlier this afternoon. And now when I started my Zoom, suddenly the camera decides to not work. So I don't know what's going on. But anyway, you're there and I'm here. We're going to start the recording right now. All right, good evening, everybody, and welcome to DayTradeSPY.com's weekend review. And let's move it along here. My name is Hugh. There's me with my beautiful dog Lucy, who is now no longer. But anyway, we are remotely here in the southern part of the U.S. here. And I'm just kind of struggling along. I got a smaller monitor. Bear with me, folks. Bear with me here. All right, let's take a look here. Today is Sunday, August the 17th, 2025. And we're winding down summer. It just feels like it. I know we're more than halfway through, and then we're halfway through August, another couple of weeks, and we're into September, got Labor Day. And just so you know, I will be away. Yes, going on a holiday, 2-week vacation in September, so early September. I believe we're leaving around September the 7th, coming back on the 22nd or something like that. So, but no worries, we got you covered in everything we do here. And if we don't, we're going to make it up to you. All right. More than make it up to you. So do not adjust your subscriptions. Do not adjust your subscriptions. So, all right. Let's see if my good friend John is on with me. I don't think he is. John, are you there? Hello, hello, hello. No, he is not. We give him the day off here. We give him the Sunday night off, and he does the Wednesday night meetings, and I do the Sunday night meetings. I see a lot of people are online here, a lot of names I recognize. I thought I would try and get the camera going on my cell phone so that at least you can have something there, but that wasn't working either. So I've got no idea why this isn't working, but it isn't. Anyway, you gotta get a picture of me and my dog. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Guys and gals. All right, let's get started here. Folks, there is a questions box. Please use the questions box. You'll find the icon on your Zoom dashboard. I am the only one that sees the questions, so go ahead and ask whatever you want. Love to address any questions you have. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. Yeah, don't hear the music. I had to get that on. I trust you can hear me okay now. You guys hear me all right? I guess you obviously you can. No pictures, no sound. Hello from St. Louis. All right, somebody type in the questions box if you can hear me okay. If not, then I got bigger problems than I anticipate here. Hello, hello. Nobody there? Okay, this is gonna be a problem. Okay, here we go. All right, you all hear me now. Oh, perfect. Oh, phew, I had me worried there. All right, thank you very much for that. All right, there's the standard disclaimer. I'm gonna give you a couple of seconds to read that. I know how to read that. You've seen this a million times before. This keeps the lawyers happy. They tell me they have to eat too. Not really sure why, but oh, imagine the world would be such a better place without lawyers, wouldn't it? All right, you alone are responsible for all your own trading, and past performance does not guarantee future results. All right. Well, there's supposed to be a picture, a live picture of me right there. Right there. And I don't, it says it's not detecting my camera. Nothing has changed since earlier today when it beautifully detected me and my camera and everything. And now it's telling me it's not detecting my camera. So I don't know why it is not detecting my camera, but for whatever reason, it isn't. Tonight we're going to talk about last week, upcoming week, 2-minute tutorial, your next steps to success Q&A. I'm going to have a little contest. Very easy contest. No, it's not nothing complicated. All right. Everybody is going to have a similar chance at winning this contest. So you will not be left away. You're not going to be left behind if you don't know, music from 1957 or anything like that. All right. Nothing like that. Not a trivia contest, nothing like that. Pure chance. All right, so this is so I feel like you're only getting half of the screen here because of the this camera situation. So I apologize in advance. Anyway, my name is Hugh, folks. Anybody who is new here has never heard of me. That's okay. A lot of people haven't, and I just want to tell you that I go way back. I've been trading a very, very, very long time. Well, maybe not that long, but I've been trading since I don't remember actually. I used to be an internal auditor for an insurance company, and I guess my interest started in trading back in those days. Not really so much trading, but just buying stock. And I remember I was so excited I bought my first stock. I can't remember now what it was, but it wasn't anything of any value. I remember putting $1,000 in when I'd be watching this. Back then we had newspapers, the stocks would always be, reported in the newspapers, and I'd be watching every day. Did I make any money? No, no. I was so excited when I was up $100, and of course I'd be, miserable all day when it was down $100, and just kind of went on like that. I can't remember now. At some point I cashed out. There's a lot of stress for nothing. I was in and out, but eventually I discovered I kind of got around it. Um, and started trading. I don't even really remember when, but I started getting more into it, and I started trading on, stocks, penny stocks, different things. Looked at futures, forex, different things. And anyway, long story short, I discovered a few cool strategies that worked very well for me, and I hope they worked well for other people too. But mostly for me, I know that it worked very well, and I was I was very successful with them. So people started taking notice when I would, bring home all the toys, new cars, new house, all these different things. So they started saying, "Well, Hugh, what are you doing? You got to show us." And of course, I would say, "Well, I'm just doing spy." At first, they thought I won a lottery or something. So no, no, no lottery, no lottery. And but they coerced me into showing them. They said, "Well, can you show us? But you put up on a website somewhere where so we can see what you're doing." Okay, I pulled it up on my cell phone. All right, no, can't seem to get the camera going. Man, unbelievable. Anyway, I started teaching people. Never thought this thing was gonna last. It was just a hobby. It was just, yeah, this will fizzle out in a couple of weeks, maybe a month. No more than 2 months, this thing's gonna go. Well, guess what? It ballooned. It actually ballooned. And okay, I gotta take this seriously. Anyway, long story short, I'm looking at short-term breakout trades, because I'm just not that smart to know where the stock is going to be a year from now, or 6 months from now, or a month from now, or even a week from now. I've got no idea. And that was back then. Imagine now with all the volatility and everything else that's going on now, and with the administration changing its mind hourly. Okay, you want to take a chance on that? Well, but you know what? We got a pretty good idea where it's going to go today, based on the news and technicals and all that stuff. So I'm looking for short-term breakout trades multiple times a day, and that's kind of what I'm looking at. So uh, eventually, I started making some pretty good money, and then people started saying, "Well, show me," and then we started with this thing called the inner circle, where I would send out my trades every day to the group, and then have a little follow-up report later in the day. And then we also got together once a week for a weekly meetup, and that's what we did. And that inner circle, that goes back to 2010. We are now in our 16th year doing this, and that inner circle is still going stronger than ever. And we also started a trading room twice a week at that time. It was twice a week. And now we're, of course, 5 days a week. And I'm doing it, 5 days a week. And also some training. We started doing some training, some one-on-ones, and then ebooks, webinars, recorded webinars, all that other wonderful stuff. And anyway, I guess it's coming up in September, in a couple of weeks, it'll be 3 years that Eagle Financial Products, publications rather, got notice. They took notice and they said, "Hey, we wanna, buy your trading room." Okay. Hmm. And everything else that I'm doing. I said, "No, not interested, not interested." But eventually they said, "Yeah, okay, let's talk." Yeah, really? And they made me a deal can't refuse. And anyway, the rest is history. And then they hired me back. Okay. Folks, it's been great. It's been a great run, and we continue to have a great run, and things are going better than ever. And really glad and excited that so many people are making money day trading options on SPY. That's all we do. Basically, one stock. One strategy. We got a couple little strategies here, but it's all based on simply trading SPY, breakout trades, and looking at like 1 hour a day type of thing, maybe a little more, maybe an hour and a half or something. But that's basically what we do. A lot of times, by the way, we finish up very early. Many times we get in, we hit our goal, and by 10:40 we're done. I mean, how cool is that? Um, so we also do a newsletter. So now we have the Wednesday night meetups with the inner circle. We've got our trading room every day. We've got our Sunday night free sessions. We have Spy on the Market. We've got videos. We were finishing up our masterclass series. One more lab on Tuesday at noon Eastern time. Anyway, Spy on the Market is a newsletter that goes out every Thursday, and I believe this week is going to be the 99th or 100th publication. Been doing this for just about 2 years now. 2 years now, and very popular. It's a light read. A lot of people are interested in this. It doesn't take you long to read. We know people's attention span is very short. So basically 2 or 3 minutes, and it's very light, relevant, entertaining. And this week the topic is going to be benefits of personal mentorship. Personal mentorship. And we're going to be talking about that. So do check it out. Now, if you uh, don't want to subscribe. Not really sure why you wouldn't want to, but some people are a little apprehensive. All you have to do to subscribe is go to our website, daytradespy.com, and when the little pop-up comes up, just leave us your email address, and we're going to send that to you. But if you don't want to subscribe, go to our website, and up at the top there, up at the top left corner, it says Spy on the Market. It says Newsletters. Click on Newsletters, and you're going to see all of our newsletters that we had written here over the last couple of years. A lot of great stuff here, folks. A lot of great stuff. And you want to go through these. In fact, I know people, believe it or not, they print these off and they have them in a binder. I know a couple of people they actually saved all these, they put them in a binder. I'm not sure what they're going to do with it, but I mean it's all good. And a lot of the stuff is, you already know if you're already a new trader, of course, but there are a lot of new people. So, here's the options 101 terminology. Super Bowl effect on the stock market. Trading through winter weather. Believe it or not, there are issues that if you're getting weather coming in, you're going to want to make sure that you are covered as far as any power outages and other things. Santa Rally. There's a lot of great stuff here. Chart patterns. Anyway, Halloween, spooky stock market terms. That's kind of an entertaining sort of a thing there. Good faith violations. Spy kids. Did you know that there are actually people, real people attached to the SPY? SPY is an ETF, exchange traded fund, and when they set it up many years ago, I think back in 1973 or something, uh, they had to attach it to. It had to be owned by somebody. So the organizers. Let's just pull this up for a second here. Let's just see what this says. So there was so the people, I guess, in the office said, well, who do we attach it to? Well, we want it to stick around for a long time, and this actually talks about it. So there's a group of 11 ordinary kids born between May 1990 and 1993, and this fund was established in 1993. They attached the 11 names to the 11 their kids, the people that organized it, their kids. They attached it to the SPY. And here's the Claire. I guess it's a lady, Claire McGrath, and she's a lawyer, and she volunteered her son Kevin and two nephews, Peter and Paul. Anyway, it goes on. It's actually a very interesting article, and SPY is going to survive, I believe. Here it is. It's going to exist for a very long time. The fund, according to this, will cease to exist on January the 22nd, 2118, or 20 years after the death of the last survivor of the 11 persons. whichever comes first. So I figure we've got 194 years to go before we're going to finish up with SPY. I don't have to worry about it. But anyway, very interesting articles. Check them out, folks. SPY on the market. SPY on the market. Okay, every week we talk about something a little bit different, and this week it's going to be the benefits of personal mentorship. All right. Again, because I don't have my camera's not working for whatever reason. Interestingly enough, this also does not work. I don't know. Something happened here with my system. I guess as soon as I went live with the Zoom, everything sort of kind of changed around a bit or whatever. But it is what it is. And this is a look at last week. This is a chart. Each of these candlesticks is an hourly candlestick. The way it works is the green candles, it started at the bottom of the body, went up, finished up at the top of the body. Sometime during this hour, it went up into the wick and down under the end of the tail. But you can see how some of these candlesticks went up. The red candles telling us that it went down during that hour. All right. And here's the nice thing about SPY. You can actually make money both going up and down. Unlike, say, mutual funds or whatever, they can only make money to the upside, right? Let's look at market growth and different things. So a little bit tougher, but as day traders and retail traders, we can actually make money going both up and down trading the SPY. Now, the SPY is the stock, it's an exchange traded fund that follows the top 500 stocks, the basket of the top 500 stocks. One of the things I had learned over the years was don't mess around with the stupid things, the high risk trades, the penny stocks and some of those other crazy stocks that are here today, gone tomorrow. You don't want that. You want quality. Always looking for quality. Excuse me, while I take some drinks here every now and then because my throat's been very dry here. Excuse me. Well, so you always want to buy quality. I've learned this over the years with just about everything. Yes, you can buy cheap things. You can buy cheap clothes, and they're not going to last long, right? First wash, and that's it. Well, what happened to this? Well, it's going in the donation bin now. That didn't last long. Suddenly, that's not so cheap when you figure, well, you just spent, $20 on, on something that didn't last long, and now you got to throw it out and buy it again, right? Cars, same thing with cars. Back in the day, I know somebody had it was a 1971 Ford Pinto or something. That was well, that's another story, but that didn't last long, right? So you want to buy quality. So, and I gotta tell you, so one of the things we're doing down here in North Carolina is we're going to go out to, we got an appointment already, believe it or not, and Thursday morning. I'm not going to be on the trading room. In fact, John's going to do that one on his own. But we got an appointment to tour the BMW factory in Spartanburg, South Carolina. So just outside of um, where are we here? Uh, I don't know where it is. We'll find it. Oh, we'll find it. Just gotta. Anyway, it's we're going to be doing that, and so quality. You want to buy quality. Yes, it costs more. Quality costs more, but it's worth it in the long run. Okay. Anyway, here's what happened on Sunday, not Sunday, last Monday. Last Monday, SPY slipped, led by the large cap Mag 7 stocks. Investors braced. Some key economic data was coming in the next few days. We had CPI reports coming in on Tuesday, PPI on Thursday, retail sales. I believe that was Friday, not really sure, but we had 7 wins, all right, in the trading room. John and I, we posted 7 wins. By the way, we also trade on our own outside of the trading room. We don't count those trades. These are just when I say 7 wins right here, that is the trades that we had shown people publicly in the trading room. Okay, that was Monday. Tuesday, the CPI numbers came in, and they came in actually lower than I expected, which means it's anti-inflationary, which means that the Feds are looking at lowering rates. They're more inclined to lower rates then. Anticipating the Feds to lower rates, SPY rallied by 7 points on Tuesday. We had 10 wins, 1 loss. Can't remember what the loss was. That might have been a pick of the day. I can't remember now. But anyway, what happened was we just took a bit of a haircut on the 1 loss, and we had 10 wins. On Wednesday, we ended up with 8 wins, 2 losses, and 1 holdover. Indexes closed mixed. SPY did reach new highs, closing highs. on Fed optimism and investors seeking new growth drivers. It was very, very positive. We're pushing up into that 646 level. And it was very exciting to actually watch SPY hit new highs. On Thursday, we had a very hot PPI report. In fact, it was higher than expected, and that kind of brought SPY down. All right, that brought SPY down. We ended up with one loss on that, thinking the market's going to go down, but it reversed up. So there's a lot of positive sentiment in the market long term, especially these days. We seem to be hitting new highs, and I don't like to go against the trend, but whatever the indicator was that gave us the move to the downside, we sort of took that, but turned out we took another little bit of a bath on that one here, but did have 9 wins on Thursday as well. Hot PPI reports initially cooled hopes for a rate cut because, of course, that's inflationary, right? But SPY continued its upward trajectory supported by progress with the European Union trade deal. I think there's a lot of back and forth there, and the administration was looking at ratifying something there, but I don't think they quite got there. And then, of course, we hit a new high in pre-market on Friday, 647.13, as the market rallied here. And then, of course, it came down after that. Got some good resistance. SPY retreated a little bit here from those recent highs. Concern over chip stocks. Um, Nvidia, I believe, and another company, AMD or something, made a deal with the U.S. government. We're going to give you 15% of our sales or whatever it was. Anyway, consumer sentiment also played into this, and the Trump-Putin talks in Alaska. There's a little bit of apprehension there, so the market just took some profits on Friday. Still did very well. Closed up around, well, we ended up today there around 643.44. Still a very good week for SPY. All right, and seasonally, here's what happened. That blue line is, of course, SPY today. The red line is the composite of the last 5 years closing price on the daily charts. Okay, historically, SPY rose 8 points from last week and only 1 point for the week coming up. 1 point the following week. All right. Last week, inflation remained manageable but not resolved. CPI was as expected, but services and PPI suggested some upward risks, and Feds appear to be pivoting now. So they are talking now with this inflation being less severe than feared. But they're also saying that, hey, listen, the effects of the tariffs simply have not yet permeated through the stock market. A lot of companies are absorbing the increase in tariffs. They're using up inventories that were, pre-tariffs, and we're going to see the effects of tariffs later in the form of inflation. But the market implied odds of a September rate cut to be now at 80%. 80%. So next month, September, they're thinking we might see a rate cut. First time in a very long time, right? Economy remains resilient. Last week outperformed. That was witnessed with several new highs, and tariff pressures, believe it or not, remain muted for now. It's almost like the market is just used to it. Oh yeah, another tariff, another tariff. Um, it's like when you cry wolf too much, you don't take it seriously. But I think it's just a question that if there's inflation, some analysts are thinking it's going to be short-lived. Uh, Personally, I don't think so. I think if you're going to have tariffs and if it's going to be sort of a long-term tariffs deal, you're in for some major inflation, right? And who pays for that? That's a tax. You and I pay for it. Uh, but right now, companies are just trying to absorb it, and well, we'll see what happens. But there's a drumbeat of a September rate cut now getting louder and louder. A lot of Fed members, especially the hawks. We had some hawks. Michelle Bowman, for one, she used to be very much a hawk. Well, now she's kind of dovish. She's favoring rate cuts now, which is really ironic because for the longest time she used to be very hawkish, and now she's flipping over into the dove territory. And I don't know. Personally, I think she might be, trying to get that top seat, right? The Fed chair seat. I'm not really sure, but here's a look at core inflation in July. Tariff pressures remain muted for now. Headline CPI, core CPI, were 3.1 down to 2.7. In July, is kind of coming down here. This is an inflationary number here. Um, the core CPI, which is, I believe, CPI less energy and was it energy and food? Let me just go check that to make sure. I don't want to speak out of sorts here. Core CPI is, let me take a look. What is core CPI? Hang on a second while I pull that up here. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Yes, it is. Um, CPI excludes food and energy. Okay. Sometimes I second guess myself. Not really sure why, but anyway, it's at its lowest. Well, the ladder rose to its highest since February here, but uh, it's led by an acceleration in service costs. Tariff pressures goods remain muted for now. So we're seeing this inflation number gradually coming down, hooking up a little bit, but we're nowhere near where we were back in the COVID days. Here's the weekly market stats. S&P rose just 0.9% this week, up to 9.7% year to date. Right in the middle there between the Dow and the Nasdaq. Nasdaq, of course, you're going to see greater swings there because there's a lot of overvalued stocks there. All the Mag 7 stocks are all in the Nasdaq, so you're going to see some wild swings there. Whenever something goes south, Nasdaq is also the first to go in a big way. But I like the SPY because that's sort of in the middle there between the Dow Jones. 9.7%. Here it is, middle of August. That's a pretty good rate of return here year over year. So year overall. So week ahead, no news day on Monday. Not much going on from an economic standpoint on Monday. We've got building permits, housing starts on Tuesday, Fed meeting minutes coming up on Wednesday. Now, the meeting had already happened, so now they're just going to review in detail what they were thinking, and that's going to happen on Wednesday. Just going to go over that. We're also going to have some Fed members speaking here during the week. Thursday, things ramp up a little bit here. Unemployment claims, Philly Fed Manufacturing Index. We also have S&P Global Flash Manufacturing PMI report, and also the S&P Global Services PMI report, and existing home sales on Thursday. Now, on Friday, they kick things off at the Jackson Hole Symposium. All right, this is a yearly event, and this year it's going to be coming up on. I think it starts on Friday. Everybody's going to, I guess, fly out to Jackson Hole, which is, give you some information on that. Da, da, da. Where is that? That is on, okay, let me get this right here. Here we go. Here we go. Jackson Hole Symposium. This is an event, an annual symposium, economic policy symposium. I think they call it a symposium because there's going to be some libations there. Okay. It's a big party town, folks. Wyoming is the place to be. Jackson Hole, Wyoming. It's attended by central bankers, finance ministers, academics, and financial market participants from around the world. Now, John and I don't know. I can't find my invitation. I'll have to ask John to see if he had misplaced his, but um, I don't know if I got mine or not. I'll have to maybe check with the organizers and see. Maybe they'll send me another one. I don't. But the meetings are closed to the press, but officials usually talk with reporters throughout the day. Let's leak out some information. Let's leak out some rumors. Let's whatever. Anyway, comments and speeches from central bankers and other influential officials can create significant market volatility. Right. It's also called the Kansas City Fed Economic Symposium. But this is where they all rub shoulders, buddy, buddy. Hey, what do you want to do? I think I'm going to lower interest rates. Okay, maybe I will too. Well, maybe I won't. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. We'll see. Anyway, Fed Chair Powell speaks there. He's going to, I believe, give the opening remarks or whatever. He is going to be talking about the economic outlook and monetary policy framework at the Jackson Hole Economic Policy Symposium. He's going to be there. All right. He is going to be there. So expect a little volatility during that period as well. So volatility, right? Here comes the volatility. Low on Monday and Wednesday. Medium on Tuesday. We figure it's going to be high on Thursday and Friday because of those economic events that are going to be taking shape Thursday and Friday. Also, expect elevated volatility whenever President Trump speaks. We generally don't know that until, oftentimes the same day. Same day that's going to be installed on the economic calendar. Oh, Trump's speaking today at 4 o'clock or something. So kind of want to keep an eye on that. All right. So, all right, the 5 to 50K challenge. I'm giving you a brief update on that one right now. We are currently sitting at $40,846. Uh, Having a little tough time breaking to the upside. We did have some setbacks here again recently. It's been a crazy last couple of weeks, but we're trying to get our bearings again and let's get the ship back on the right it up. So for those unfamiliar with this, we started with $5,000 back in early January. We're looking to make $50,000 by the end of the year. I suspect we could hit it. I was going to say the end of August, but August is coming up pretty quick. So I'm going to revise that to the end of September. We're just gradually working our way up. We're not going to go crazy or anything like that, but we are in a position where we can take multiple trades a day. Sometimes we'll do two, sometimes even three trades when we're really on a roll. And here's the chart. We're slightly under where we're supposed to be by about $3,800, but we'll catch up. We will catch up, and might even take it a little bit higher, right? Up to 80,000 or 100,000. That's kind of the ultimate goal there. See what happens. Anyway, we're working on that, and I mean, that's actually pretty exciting. Taking 50, 5,000, turning it to 50,000 one year. Um, very excited about that. And yes, we do have some drawdowns, but we're just very methodically, very systematically. My underlying um, premise is just to take short-term trades, usually to the upside. I'm not keen on going to the downside. I mean, I will take it if I really feel confident about it. But when the markets are generally trending to the upside, you kind of want to go with that, right? But it's been going quite well. We've had some good runs in here, and we also had some negative days as well. So, but anyway, I know a lot of people that are kind of following that along. So, 2 minute tutorial: the benefits of personal mentorship. So, I had a little discussion with somebody the other day and said, you get all this stuff for free. I said, oh yeah, really? And what are you going to get for free on YouTube, right? Or some of these things. Let me tell you something. Personal mentorship. You really can't beat that. And they might be thinking here, well, why should I pay for it when you get it for free? Well, it's not the same. Free advice is exactly worth what you pay for it. Absolutely nothing. Every penny of it is worth it, right? If it's free. And by the way, I've had a lot of people over the last couple of years approach me and tell me that they tried that route and it did not work. In fact, a lot of people lost a lot of money. I talked to a couple people, I would say in the last couple of months, that are completely out of trading. They don't even trade anymore because they took the free advice from videos or whatever, YouTube videos or whatever, and they lost. They blew up their accounts. So I suggest it's like anything else, right? You get what you pay for. If you want good quality mentorship, you got to pay for good quality mentorship. Uh, YouTube videos don't give personalized training or support. They don't know you. You don't know them. There could be history. And here's the funny thing. The market is a dynamic animal. It is always changing. Of all the years I've been trading, I can't think of 2 days that I can say were exactly the same. Sometimes good economic news is good news. Sometimes it's bad news. If there's a threat of an interest rate increase, that could be bad news. It depends there's so many variables involved in this thing. You have to have, real time, real market environments and dealing with people who are, who've been there, done that. You know, there's no nefarious agenda here with John and I or anybody. We all want you to be successful. And as an example, in the trading room, we have a lot of successful people. The more successful people are those that have been in it a long time. So there's no substitute for personal mentorship. And you're not going to get that by watching a YouTube video. And by the way, what may have worked in the past may not work now. And that's one of the dangers. And you don't know that, of course, until you're into it. So you might be looking at a video from a month ago and thinking, oh, that's good. I can just do that. And meanwhile, it's just not working. And you're wondering, well, how come it's not working? Well, maybe what and you're not getting all of the information that you probably need. There's a lot of information, of course, that affects the stock market price. It's just not just one price that just floats along. There are reasons the market goes up, reasons it goes down, reasons it reverses, reasons it pans out at such a price and goes the other way. Your investment in time, effort, and money is too valuable to risk on something unknown, free mentorship, if that's what you want to call it. You want to take care of this. And I tell people too, in your younger days, that's when you want to make money, right? Because that's when you want to take the risks because you have time to correct it. You have time to replenish it and recover, right? In your older years, you want to hold on to your money. You don't want to take those risks. And I see that with my own trading. You know, I'm more careful now because I don't want to get into some high risk business ventures that could be they could come back and haunt me for years. Oh my gosh, imagine being in some investment that oh, that never really worked out. Well, now what do I do? You know? I mean, in my case, I simply just trade, but I'm a little more careful with what I do in my trading. So you'll want to seek this hand holding, especially if you're a newbie. I know it's tempting. You say, well, I don't have a lot of money and I got to save money. Well, you don't, it's a false economy to save money by not getting good mentorship, good tutelage, good coaching, right? Coaches all want you to be successful. Every coach out there wants you to be successful. For no other reason, it just doesn't look good on a coach if well, who's your coach? Well, it was so and so, and I blew up my account. Oh, really? How'd that work out? You want to make sure you got that mentorship that you can't replace, and you have to have a good mentor. Go with somebody you trust, somebody who's been doing it for a while, somebody who knows what they're talking about, somebody who's empathetic to your needs, somebody who can help you and doesn't judge you on, well, you're only trading $2,000. I'm not going to waste my time with you. You're nothing. No, 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 no. We don't like, for example, we don't do that. All right, we don't do that. To us, the person trading, $500 is every bit as important as that person trading 50,000, maybe even more so. You know, because that person trading $500, that person he needs hand holding. They got to ramp that $500 and turn that into 1,000, then 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, 6,000, right? Um, Market volatility, folks. That takes no prisoners. The market doesn't know you, doesn't care about you. It'll take your money as much as anybody else's. It doesn't even have the common courtesy to say thank you, sucker, right? So this is where you really need. I know I wish I had a Hugh and John when I was learning this. I was together with a couple buddies and different things, and we were looking at this, and whenever we learned something, we shared it with the rest of our little group, and that's how we learn. A lot of trial and error, and I can tell you, man, if I could have sidestepped all of that learning and effort and costly mistakes and different things, oh, I don't know where I would be now, but a lot further than I am now. I'm doing very well, don't get me wrong, but you want to stay on top of those minute-to-minute moves, and that's what something like our trading room does. Okay, personal mentorship instills confidence. We review your trades. We offer relevant, timely advice on your positions, and that's going to lead us into the trading room. All right, and yes, there's talk about the trading room, and we'll talk about that too, and all the other services that we do because that's what we do. We provide mentorship. We provide coaching we're tutors for you. We do everything we can. If it was up to me, I would even do, a lot of one-on-ones. When we did do that, we were completely overwhelmed with them, and it was nonstop. So maybe one day we'll get back into that. I don't know, but right now we just kind of funnel everybody into our various programs and hope that you can pick up all of the information that you need through that. And I'll explain that. So, folks, here's Angie, my beloved Angie. Looking for market success, she says, we have the programs that work. Join our tribe. Come on and join our tribe. We'll get into the questions a little bit. So let's talk about the trading room first. All right. My associates. So when Eagle Financial Publications, they brought me in with a retired guru that they had, John Johnson. He's a lawyer and he's a trader. In fact, he more or less left law. He had a very lucrative career in law. Um, to trade and to teach people how to trade and be successful in the trading world. Very exciting. So he and I run the trading room. Between the two of us, I don't know how many years trading we have, over 45 years of combined trading experience on the stock market. I don't know if you can touch that. Maybe, people who actually care about your trading. We have strategies, and we put those strategies to work every morning in the trading room, live streaming, every morning, 9:20 to 10:30 Eastern time. So the nice thing about this is, and we've been in other trading rooms in the past, and we know what works, what doesn't work. We're not here to monopolize your whole day. It's not an open mic session where whoever has the mic has control of the room. I've been in trading rooms where the most charismatic person would grab the mic and start talking and sell, sell, sell. And of course, everybody just dumps their stocks. And 5 minutes later, the market reverses, goes back up, and all of a sudden, oh my, all those people that lost thousands of dollars, they could have made thousands of dollars. It's not about the most charismatic person. It's about, who has the most experience, the intelligence, the analytical skills, the skill to calm, be calm in a crazy market and instill some confidence in the market. These are the things that you wanted, and we have that experience. We have that experience. This is a live and a learn and earn experience. We're live, we're interactive. It's exciting trading. We execute multiple trades and we narrate everything we talk, everything we do. We talk about what we're going to do. Here's why. Here's the setup. Here's what I'm looking for. When it breaks resistance, I'm going to the upside. Here's what I'm buying. Here's the option. Here's why. And you can ask those questions in the questions box, right? We teach what we trade and we trade what we teach. Get your questions answered. Been doing this since 2010. And the best way to get in on this is to contact customer service at DayTradeSPY. Now, I believe the quarterly fee for this is something like $6.99 per quarter, which works out to basically a Subway sandwich every day. By not even both of us, by just one of us, John or myself, a lunch, and you get into the trading room with your personal mentors, John and myself. That's our world famous trading room, and we also have a lot of fun, by the way. And that's, I think, very important. We talk about a lot of different things. We have fun. It's interactive. We have contests. We play games. We give away things. So it's actually pretty cool. Now, if you are not able to, we have a couple services that just simply provide you with a really cool trade, right? Day Trade Spy Signal. This is a particular option sent to your cell phone 3 to 5 times a week for a 5% gain. This is algo based. It's morning trades, and immediately you'd put it up, you'd buy it, and then put it up for sale for a 5% gain. If you don't sell it by the end of the day, simply sell it at market close. Now, those of you gone through our course and understand our strategies with this, a lot of times you'll make a lot more money than 5%, and a lot of times you'll be prepared to hold overnight and take it into the next day. Okay. Um, the strategy does call for a close at the end of the day, but again, if you're familiar with trading and the way we trade, many times you will be quite confident in holding it overnight. The options that we do suggest on this do give you plenty of time so that if you do have to hold it, you're not going to lose a whole lot in time value, data value, right? Again, contact customer service at daytradespy.com for pricing. An excellent, excellent program, highly successful. Admittedly, it has had its challenges, as has the pick of the day, but seems to be back on track now. Pick of the day is another option. Now, this one, rather than going to your cell phone sometime during the morning, you will be sent this to your email at 9 o'clock Eastern time every morning. And this is designed to be bought at market open, right? Not at 10:06 or 10:35 or any other time. This is designed to be bought at market open. So if so you get, say, the option is a call option, right? So wait a few seconds for the bid ask spread to settle in nice and tight. And when you see the market going your direction on the 1 minute chart, so if it's, say, a call option, you're seeing the pressure to the upside, just buy it then. You don't have to wait for the close on the candle, or you don't have to wait for the next candle confirmation. None of that. You buy it right at market open, immediately put it up for sale for a 6% profit target. Walk away, come back, and the money's in your account. Usually this lasts about a couple minutes, few minutes, right? It's emailed to you. Check your email. Now, if you are a subscriber, you don't get the email, check your junk box, your promotions box, anywhere else. Make sure your firewall is set to accept all our emails. These are handpicked, unlike the other one, which is algo based. These are handpicked, and again, it's a trade meant to be bought at market open. So handpicked. Well, whose hands are picking them? Well, John and I. We get together before the market opens and we discuss the market. Where's the propensity? Is it to the upside today? Or is it to the downside? Is it going to be, more pressure to the upside, or is there profit taking in the works, or what? So we look at a whole bunch of different things, everything from tweets, Twitter feeds. Oh, sorry, X, formerly Twitter. I hate it when they say that. We look at news that happened, news that's coming up. We look at technical indicators. We look at everything. And by the way, we're not yes men. Okay. So sometimes I might say, I see, and I'll tell him where why I see what I see. And I say, well, I think it's going to go up. Then he'll tell me, well, yeah, I see what you're saying. But I also see a move to the downside, quite possibly, if it breaks the support here, whatever it goes. And we hammer it out. So we say, all right, make your claim here. Stake your claim. And why do you think this? Why do I think that? And before 9 o'clock, we do come to some resolution, and then we send it out. 9 o'clock, we send it out, right? And again, this is for pretty quick 6% gain. And again, this too, it may be held overnight because these options are going to have enough time that you're not going to lose everything on an overnight hold. Okay. Again, many of the people who have been with us and know our strategies will understand how to trade this to get more than the 6% profit on this one. Okay. So, and you can't hold it overnight, but really, really good. We're doing very well. Both the pick of the day and the day trade spy signal doing very, very well. All right. Inner circle. Inner circle. This is that service that I told you first started with 16 years ago, back in 2010, May of 2010, actually. And we never thought it was going to last. That's okay. Morning market assessment sent to you at 9 o'clock Eastern time every morning. There it goes in your inbox, right? In fact, it's written by John. Very very comprehensive, and he does all the heavy lifting. He does that analysis, so you don't have to. You'll also get a follow-up report later in the day as to what we actually did. And you'll be invited to our Wednesday night weekly meetups. This, again, is where you can ask questions about anything to do with SPY or the charts, or setups, or chart patterns, or Fibonacci, or anything. John goes over this on the weekly meetings here. We've been told that the Center Circle Wednesday night meeting is worth its weight in gold. Worth its weight in gold. They're also recorded and sent to you right after the meeting is done for later review. Yes, we have a lot of people overseas, and it's in the middle of the night for them. They're not going to be up at that time to watch the Inner Circle webinar, but they're going to open it up first thing as soon as they get up, and they're going to watch it. So this is a really great way to get started, folks, especially if you are new. It's a great way to stay in the know if you are a seasoned trader. All right. So you want to stay in on this one. And we have a lot of people, believe it or not, they've been with us for many years in the Inner Circle, partly because it's actually the most affordable service. It doesn't cost you much. So imagine having a service that does the heavy lifting, gives you all the relevant information that you need to know for the day's trading. It doesn't cost you a lot of money. And the nice thing about it is that very often, and I've been told this, we identify things that the trader might miss. So you might miss something, and oh, I didn't see that. That's a relevant piece of information, and I'm glad that I saw that on the Inner Circle morning market analysis. I didn't see that piece of information, and it makes it and it matters. So it's a good way of confirming what you might know, and making sure that you are, you have all the relevant news and indicators and technical data that you need to make an informed decision on the day's activities for trading. So, all right, let's take some questions. Again, this is the spot where you're supposed to see my camera. I have no idea why it's not working, but I apologize to you on that. So let's flip over and talk to some people here. Questions? Okay, from Mark, how often do you or John trade the close? I don't trade the close anymore. I used to years ago. In fact, we had a little service. I think we did it once a month or something, whereby we would actually have, I forgot what we called it. It had a really catchy name to it. We used to tease in that you need a doctor's note to trade the clothes because it was so volatile. And same day expirations. You can make a lot of money, or you can lose a lot of money, and we've done both. The volatility is crazy. So anyway, I try not to get into to a little more safer trades now. Sometimes I'll get into some more high risk trades, but generally speaking, I'm more keen on just a little safer trades. Plus, I think a lot of people in our trading room are a lot of like newer traders, and they might not be so wanting to trade high risk trades. They're probably a little more on the safe side. Now, after a while, when you get your feet wet, you understand what we're doing, and you're comfortable with everything, you're well heeled, and you have lots of money in your account, and you want to try some riskier trades, then by all means, knock yourself out. And we'll help you with that too. I think John trades the close sometimes, and he talks about it every now and then when he sees something really kind of shaping up, but I don't do that. So, Norman, thank you for that. Yes, it's me. I broke the camera. Yeah. Let me just see if there's any broken glass in front of my monitor here. No, no, but yeah, very temperamental, but probably see that I needed a haircut or something. So I'm not gonna torture the recipients with a picture of you. So I'm just not gonna work tonight. Thank you for that. Okay, Scott, lucky you. I toured the BMW factory in Munich back in the early 80s. So impressed. I bought one, LOL. Now, Scott, so here's the funny thing, Scott. I can't believe it. You can't believe you're saying that. So we've got a couple of BMWs. All right, no big secret. We got well, my wife's got the X3 and I got an electric one. So the X3 they made here in Spartanburg, whatever, South Carolina. So we're going to tour the factory there. Now, our European tour, yes, we are going on vacation in Europe for 2 weeks. We were doing a river cruise from I don't know, I never booked it, Amsterdam down to Switzerland or something. However, we are spending a few days in Munich. Now, I actually want to go through the BMW factory in Munich as well. So I'm going to see if I can get a spot on that one too. I think that'd be very interesting. So that'd be a lot of fun. So all right. What other questions here? Phil says pick of the day had a loss on Thursday and Friday. Unfortunately, I was not in the Friday trading room, so I can't comment on what happened there. In fact, I have not even really looked at Friday's trading, but I understand that there were some losses in that. And I didn't realize, Phil, was it Thursday as well? I didn't know the Thursday loss. Maybe it did, maybe. But so the deal there is that the pick of the day, if you don't get your 6%, so okay, the powers that be that run us, okay, our bosses, they said, well, you have to close the trade up by the end of the day. Oh, okay. So what if we're in a loss? Well, they have to close it out. Statistically, even with any loss at the end of the day, we're still doing extremely well. I believe pushing 90%, 88, 90%, something like that. However, a lot of times we might be in the trading room, might be saying, listen, if you're in the trade of the day, pick of the day, or and if it's in a losing spot, I would hold on. I suspect at the end of the day, it's going to come up tomorrow or the next day. And here's why. We'll explain where our rationale comes from. So if you're in the trading room, you are going to be privy to that information. We don't send out follow-up emails in that regards. So, all right, let me take a look here. Scott, when you're there, tell them I was looking to replace my SL500. Oh, But at the 430 M 440, but couldn't pull the trigger because of the butt ugly front grill. Yeah, well, lost the sale for them, I guess. Asked if they plan on making it any better looking. Yeah, that signature grill, right? Signature grill, but I think it grows on you. It's a mean looking grill. We were talking about the cars, folks. I noticed that when you come up real fast behind somebody, you tend to get out of your way. I think you get a lot of respect on the road. Respect. I don't know. I don't know. Is there recording this? Yes, there is. Rajan. Hope I pronounced. I'm gonna call you Raj. There is a recording. The recording's gonna go out later tonight, or it'll be on the website tomorrow. All right. Because I think you know what? I think the girls in the office actually post the recording onto the website tomorrow. So, but do join in. Check out the website daytradespy.com. You'll find the recording there somewhere here. All right, Don. The 9 wins and 2 losses traded all day or in the morning. Those would be morning trades. They'd be morning trades. All right. Okay, Dave, you mentioned your daily goal. What is that exactly? Okay. So I have daily goals. John has daily goals. We all have our own daily goals. I know some people who like to make $2,000 a day. And when they hit their daily goal, they shut it off, go do something else. Uh, I also work with people who are trying to make $200 a day. And when I tell them when you hit your goal, shut it off. You hit your goal because you keep trading and trading. And that last trade that you do, you end up holding overnight because now you're in a loss. And well, let's take a look. You call me and you say, well, would you hold on to this? What would you do? And and then I kind of go through and do a quick study for them. But we're generally done by the end of the trading room, right? So we can't really sort of spend a lot of time on anybody's individual trades after the trading room. But we work with you. So in the trading room, as an example, you'll punch it up in the questions box. Well, I'm sitting in this trade, and I hit my target, my daily target, but should I get back in or? And we'll take a look and see. Well, the market's very strong. I think it's going to continue going to the upside, and here's why. Bang, bang, bang. If you want to do another trade, go ahead, right? But we'll also give you that confidence to stay in the trade or to sell. If we think, and we had this the other day, we were in puts, and I think it was actually the OMG trade, which is short for out of the morning gate. So this is a little cool little strategy. We look at our support and resistance lines at 9 o'clock, going back on the 5 minute charts. It's maybe about an hour or something, and then we install those support and resistance numbers. And then what happens is um, the if it turns against us, we might say, you know what, I just don't like the looks of this. I would dump it, just take the haircut and be done with it. Right? That's kind of what I would do. But and I think one of those losses was that. So there are going to be times when you just the market reverses, goes back up. Maybe we set the support a little bit too high, or who knows. But that's what that was. So anyway, do you trade SPY or the SPX? Okay, all of our trades are SPY. SPY, SPX is the basket of the top 500 stocks, so that's going to be more expensive. Options going to be more expensive. SPY is about 1/10 the cost of SPX. SPY, there's more contracts traded, more liquidity, more action, right? And the question, are all of your trades ODTE? No, no, they are not. Uh, we have done zero data expiration, but those are high risk. So, and I still trade them sometimes. But the thing is, this most people I'm thinking here in our trading room would like to have a little more safety than these high risk trades. If we do get into zero data expiration, we'll talk about that. This is a high risk trade. Be careful. But I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to, I feel good about it. But as a rule, we'll trade generally the Friday's expiration if it's a Monday or Tuesday. If it's Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, we'll trade the following Friday's expiration. Okay. We like to have some time in there. There's just a lower data loss if you have time. Just takes a little stress off the off of your mind when it takes when to do that. Zero data expirations, high risk, highly stressed trading. Yes, you can make a lot of money, but also very easy to lose it. Those same characteristics that you make a lot of money are the same characteristics that are going to blow up your account. Okay. All right, Eduardo. Okay, can you please let me know the performance percentage of the DayTradeSPY service over the past year? I don't have those exact numbers. They're very, very high. As I mentioned, I believe, and if you want to maybe contact customer service at DayTradeSPY, they probably have those numbers. Um, and they're up around, I want to say 88 to 90%, something like that, success for the DayTradeSPY signal. The pick of the day, our trading room is excellent. And every afternoon, early evening, we write up our reports as to what we actually did in the inner circle follow-up report. Okay, so we kind of do that. All right, yeah, even the calendar year, yeah. So long time ago, we used to put that up there, but we just found that it didn't make any sense because people would look at that and say, well, they'd always kind of throw it back at you. Well, you made a mistake here. Or this, look at not all trades are going to be winners. You have to accept that as a fact, as a trading fact. If anybody ever tells you they never lose, they are lying to you. All right, you heard me right. I swear on my life, swear on my mother's life. She's already passed away, but that's just simply not realistic to expect all trades to be winners. However, we have developed systems, strategies, and attitudes that minimize those losses. And a lot of times, our trades will go into a loss before they turn around. And that's something else that we actually very much teach and mentor and encourage is your emotional control. I believe that emotional control paramount to everything else. Anybody, even a monkey, can learn how to trade. That's not a problem. It's controlling your emotions. So we will look at long-term sort of macro factors that will affect a trade. And when we determine move to the upside or the downside, and if it reverses on us in a short term, we don't panic. We don't go selling. We don't sell nothing. We just, we don't go into that world. We simply just wait it out, the underlying factors still remain the same. Now, if something changes, right? If something horrible happens, that's a different story. As an example, now I didn't trade Friday. I was traveling on Friday, but if I was trading on Friday, for example, and if the market's going up and everything's very positive, we'll say the Trump-Putin deal, and then all of a sudden something is said and Trump just closes up his books and walks out in 2 minutes, that could probably affect the market to the negative, right? That's different. That's kind of a fundamental thing here. So we'll see what happens. All right. Have you seen the price of the new Bugatti 30 million? Yes, I saw that. Was that the Bugatti? Or was that I thought it was maybe a McLaren or something. Was that the Bugatti? Okay. Yeah. I can't see ever paying that much money for a car, 30 million. 30 million or 3 million? It doesn't matter. It's a lot of money. Okay. All right. I'm gonna have to trade a whole lot more contracts. Um, Listen, the percentage gain is a percentage gain, whether you're trading one or two contracts or 1,000 contracts. The percentage gain is going to be the same, right? And we're very excited. If you have a 10% gain in 5 minutes, we're just as excited for you whether you made $10 or $1,000 as a percentage. Now, obviously, right? If you're just trading one or two contracts, you're not going to make a lot of money, but that's not the objective. At that point, the objective is to make good trades, develop consistency, develop your good, discipline and all that stuff. The money will come later. The money will come. Okay. All right. The marketing email data is from 2 years ago. Oh yeah. Okay. So our marketing department is a little dated. They're giving you data from 2 years ago. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for letting me know that. I'm gonna email them and say, listen, guys, can you update your data on that? I'm sure you have it. So get current with your stuff. Yeah, but it'd be similar to that. We've been doing very well, although the last couple weeks have been a little testy, but challenging. So, all right, that used to be a think or some saying, push the button, monkey. Okay, thanks for that, Johnny, my buddy Johnny. Okay, all right. Let me see many other questions here. Okay. Okay, Norman says, I think Norman, were you in our master class, Norman? Because he has he has a comment here that we actually taught about repairing trades gone bad. And he's saying here that one of the best things that he's learned, the best thing I learned listening to you was buying an option that has gone against my position again and averaging down the cost. It made a world of difference. Hope I explained it right. I believe so. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna wrap it up with the question because I actually have kept you long enough. So, all right, folks, it's time to pull out our famous DayTradeSPY.com random number generator. So I want you, please, in the questions box, pick a number between 1 and 100. Pick a number between 1 and 100. And I'm going to give you a few seconds to do that. And then I'm going to pull up the random number generator. And then we're going to spin that. Well, so we just hit a button. It comes up with a random number. Then the winner is going to receive, right? The winner is going to receive the ebook, Triumphs and Tragedies. It's actually quite an extensive ebook. I think it's like 40 some pages. Talks about stories of real people that have gone through the day trade spy camp and had some really amazing triumphs and some very heartfelt tragedies too. And some of these are really, really like, not good, not good. All right, we got everybody's number. We are cutting it off now in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. All right, now we're going to pull up. Now this, I'm gonna the number you see here is not the number that's from last week. That is not the number. Now I'm gonna push this button. And hopefully, this is gonna get a new number. Number is 87. The number is 87. Let me see who is the closest on my list to the number 87. If the person gets it, then we have a tie. And they both get the prize, Triumphs and Tragedies. So bear with me while I go through the name here. Okay, 87, 87. Okay, Danielle's got 88. Wow, that was close, 88. And okay, Danielle O. Last name starts with O, the letter O, Danielle. And okay, she wins. I'm just looking to make sure nobody else. Okay, she wins the ebook. Congratulations, Danielle. She wins Triumphs and Tragedies. Way to go. That will be sent to you soon. Okay, there's the number right here. Oh my God, I put it away already. Sorry. Let me just bring it up here just so you all see this and you know. 87 is the actual number that was generated from the random number generator. All right, Danielle O, congratulations. All right, folks, thanks for joining us. If you stand by, you're going to get the URL to our DayTradeSPY trading room. You'll want to subscribe to that. It's been a pleasure, folks. See you the next time. Have a good night.
You're the one, shine brighter than the moon and the sun. Be great at what you do, give it all of you, and trust the process and keep your eyes on the prize. I can tell you